Right now at 5, authorities investigate the discovery of a man's body alongside Interstate 44.
We're not nearly as foggy as yesterday. It's going to start heating up, temperatures upwards of 10 degrees above normal. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, how a new child care facility is helping to address community needs in Erie, Kansas.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's now Wednesday, halfway through this week. You know, fall officially starts on Sunday.
Oh, I can't believe it.
If you go outside later this afternoon, you absolutely will not believe it, because it is going to be a bit on the toasty side. In fact, we are looking at near dangerous heat tomorrow.
Wow.
And the potential to tie or maybe even break some record highs in the next few days.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not going to feel like fall just yet, but it will eventually get there. Let's start though with a look outside, get your day underway for you. Our camera downtown Pittsburgh, we're looking pretty good this morning. Got some clouds out there. Otherwise, not a bad start to the day. Our camera 7th and range line also looking pretty good this morning, albeit a little out of focus. I'll have to go take care of that. And from the MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin, also looking pretty good this morning as well. We do have fog, but not like yesterday. It is confined once again to the Grand Lake area, but not as dense as it has been the last few days out there, as we're starting to see moisture return to the air itself. 6 miles of visibility around Grove. So if you are traveling though, you know the drill. Just watch out down there, because you could still run into patches of denser fog. So here's what we're facing right now in terms of our seasonal directory. We have made it through summer, the center of the sun. We had false fall last week. We are here, second summer, right ahead of actual fall, and actual fall is just around the corner. We'll talk about that in just a moment. On the future track for today, a few clouds here and there, and similar to yesterday, we'll start to see skies going mostly clear as we head later into the afternoon, evening, and overnight hours. And again, we're going to be much warmer today. We're sitting at 68 in Joplin, 67 in Pittsburgh. Bear in mind, our average lows about 10 degrees cooler than where we are right now. Temperatures around the 4 states, fairly mild this morning. A couple of 70s in Neodesha and Parsons. Otherwise, most of us mid and upper 60s. Kids getting on the bus this morning, we're going to be right about 66, partly cloudy, south breeze 5 to 10, and a mix of sun and clouds later, hotter 88, still holding on to that south breeze across the area. We're looking at those partly cloudy skies, eventually starting to clear, highs right around 90, maybe even some low 90s out there, so that's going to put us 11 degrees above where we should be for this time of year. We still have that cold front this weekend. We still have storm chances tomorrow, and we are going to look at all of that in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, authorities investigate the discovery of a man's body in a ditch along Interstate 44. Now, the body was found near the Prigmore Street exit at mile marker 14.8 late Monday afternoon. Investigators have identified the man as 63-year-old Jesse Gilmore from Oklahoma. Now, authorities are looking for a vehicle related to this incident. It's a red 2020 Chevy Cobalt with the Oklahoma license plate PIH 667. Now, authorities say it has significant damage to the passenger side rear door. Anyone who has seen this car in the past day or so should contact the Jasper County Sheriff's Office. Authorities are not giving further details about the circumstances in this case, including how the car might be involved, but they say an autopsy is scheduled for Friday. The crash claims the life of a Missouri man. It happened Monday night on the west side of Granby at US 60 and City Road limit. A westbound vehicle was passing another vehicle on a hill crest when a semi-tractor trailer came over the hill. Now, they struck head-on and both vehicles burst into flames. The driver of the westbound vehicle suffered serious injuries and was rushed to a Springfield hospital via helicopter. The passenger, Sean McCamish, also of Pierce City, was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the semi-tractor trailer was unharmed, and the Highway Patrol is investigating. A fire truck and pickup collide in Newton County. The crash occurred Monday afternoon on Zebra Road, 2 miles south of Fairview. The Freightliner fire truck was on its way to another crash with its lights and siren on as it made its way through an intersection. The pickup failed to yield to the fire truck as it entered the intersection and struck the emergency vehicle. A female passenger in the pickup suffered serious injuries. The driver of the pickup and a juvenile passenger had minor injuries. All three were taken to Mercy Joplin. Firefighters in Eagle Rock, Missouri are investigating what caused a fire that destroyed a community free store yesterday morning. Now, crews responded just before dawn to the Broken Bread and Poured Out Wine community store on Highway 86 in Berry County. This isn't the first time this store has burned. About a year ago, a fire damaged the building. The store held a GoFundMe fundraiser at the time. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. The Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa County Teen Center hosted a groundbreaking in Miami. The project has been in the works for about 33 months. Now, the center will provide resources for teens such as resume building and workforce development. The center will also have a gym and art room.
Ensuring that they have positive mentors in their life to encourage them throughout their lives to be successful and to have a plan for the future. So really that's what we do at Boys and Girls Club, is to ensure that every kid has a safe place to go and has somebody to believe in them.
They hope to have the project ready by May 2025. Well, access to childcare can be scarce in rural communities, but Erie, Kansas hopes to help correct that problem by opening a new childcare center. This week, community members celebrated the center with a ribbon cutting and open house. KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on how the center hopes to address the growing needs for accessible childcare in the area.
Childcare is it's the foundation to a community, I believe. Without childcare, people can't work.
For many working parents, childcare is a necessity. But according to the Center for American Progress, 44% of people living in Kansas live in a childcare desert, meaning there is not enough spots for childcare compared to the amount of children in the area. Erie is one of those communities in a childcare desert.
We were full, and I had 28 on a waiting list with people calling. And I hated telling people no, but I had nowhere to put them.
When the Erie Community Child Care Center started a few years ago, it was able to take in 22 kids. The administrator for the facility says those spots quickly filled up, but there was still a great need for child care in the community.
We had some parents that were driving to Chanute to drop off kids and then coming back to work and then going and getting them again. We had some parents that were taking kids to work with them, business owners that were having to take kids with them to their workplace.
It's what made them apply for a Child Care Capacity Accelerator grant through the Kansas Children's Cabinet. The grant provided funding for the center to build a new facility and increase its capacity to more than 70 children.
I believe that it is meeting a need for the parents to be able to work and maintain a good income for their family.
The president of the Erie Chamber of Commerce says the facility is not only making it easier for working parents, but also bringing more jobs to the community.
It also has created jobs for the community. If you don't have a school, if you don't have a store, you don't have daycare, people are not going to stay in town. They're going to move to where they do have those things available.
The facility opened at the end of June and now has 14 staff members. Diller says the Child Care Center's role in addressing the child care desert is a work in progress, but it's already proving to help the community.
I think that we will be able to meet the need of this community and maybe help out with some of the others.
Reporting in Erie, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Now, with the expansion, the Erie Community Child Care Center is still accepting new families and is looking for additional staff. Anyone interested is encouraged to reach out to the facility. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Webb City softball tries to earn its 10th win of the season. We'll have the details. Plus, Meta says it's banning Russian media networks from its various social media platforms. And we have a hot and partly cloudy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Well, in the last few years, one of the most consistent high school programs in the 4 states is Jasper Volleyball. The Lady Eagles have won 2 consecutive district championships and are off to an 8-1 start in 2024. Jasper Volleyball at home last night before the game, honoring Shiloh Storm on 2,000 career assists. Lady Eagles hosting new heights. First point of the night, Jasper's Crystal Smith elevates at the net for the big-time rejection. Eagles win the point. Cougars hanging around early, still in the first. Jasper in front 8-7. Shiloh Storm sets up Aspen Lehman for the kill. Add another assist to the career assist total. Excuse me. Eagles take the first and second sets into the third. Going for the sweep, Storm places this one just inside the near corner. That's one of 4 consecutive aces. Eagles running away with it. Later in the third, Storm to Smith. She spikes it home. Jasper wins in straight sets again last night. The Eagles are 9-1. They've swept every Missouri opponent they've faced so far this year. Busy day for high school softball across Southwest Missouri. Several of our local COC teams are at home, as well as a couple from the Big 8. Webb City Lady Cardinals softball last night back at home, looking to earn their 10th win of the season against the 5-6 Glendale Falcons. Top of the first, starting pitcher Olivia Nieberg had a nice game. She gets the swinging strikeout and would pitch a complete game with 7 strikeouts. Bottom of the first, Nieberg everywhere. She rips a line drive to left field, and that lets the Cardinals score the first run of the game. And it got a lot better for Webb after that. Bottom of the fourth, Abby Sargent hits the grounder through the right side. 2 runs will score. Same inning, 1 batter later, Liz Rooms now with a hot shot to left. 2 Falcons can't field it. 2 more runs will score. Cardinals score 4 in the 4th inning. Webb City turns on cruise control from then on. Cardinals earn their 10th win of the season. They remain undefeated at home. And we've got a bunch more games throughout Southwest Missouri. We're going to stay in the COC. Tough outing for the defending champs from Neosho. They fall to Kickapoo 15-2. Elsewhere in the COC, Joplin also loses big. The Eagles fall to Ozark 13-2, but Carthage wins a close one, 6-5 over Nixa. That's a matchup we'll see later this week as well on the football field. Nixa and Carthage both enter the week undefeated, and that's our game of the week. Tigers come out on top last night in softball. Carl Junction softball has now won 3 of its last 4. The Bulldogs take down Branson 15-5 yesterday evening, avenging a loss to the Pirates from earlier this month. Then in the Big 8, Nevada makes a 90-mile trip down to McDonald County worthwhile. The Lady Tigers win 11-2 on the road. They've won 12 of their first 15 games this season and are back on the road at Seneca on Thursday. Cassville takes care of Monette 4-2. That snaps a 3-game losing skid for the Wildcats. Well, still to come, we're going to hear why researchers say 1 to 3 cups of coffee a day could be good for your heart health. And we got another check of that forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:18 on this Wednesday morning. Hey, we're starting with a live look from our camera downtown Pittsburgh. We're looking pretty good this morning. Got just a few clouds here and there. Same from our camera 7th and Rangeline in Joplin. Not a bad start to the day, at least so far. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline. Again, we're clear and the roads are clear. A little bit eerie, of course, at this time of the morning. And KDOT camera 69 Kansas Crossing also looking pretty good. Not dealing with nearly as much fog as we had yesterday, but as we've been trending here lately, we do have some patchy fog around Grand Lake, so just keep that in mind if you're traveling down that way. Today, similar to yesterday, just a little warmer. We'll have partly cloudy skies through the late afternoon, early evening hours, and then those skies will begin to clear out a bit overnight. We'll go mostly clear. Then And this hasn't changed, which is some good news. We like when rain chances are consistent because we need rain. Tomorrow morning, a few isolated to widely scattered showers. And this will be coming off of a dying thunderstorm complex that'll be out to our west late tonight. And that'll bring, again, a few isolated showers in the morning hours. Most of us will be dry, and we're going to be even hotter on our Thursday across the area. In fact, tomorrow we could see heat index values approaching 100 degrees. I'm not making this up. It's September. We're a few days from fall, and we're talking heat index values that could approach 100 degrees. Take a look at some of these temperatures, though, as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. Now, the other consistency is the thunderstorm chances Thursday evening. Now, they still look to have the best chances for organized thunderstorm activity Thursday across Kansas and into Oklahoma. Some of these showers and storms could continue into the Missouri side, but they're going to be in a weakening or dying state by the time they get here. And then we're going to repeat this process on our Friday. In the morning and into the early afternoon Friday, some scattered showers, maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder, and they'll be isolated initially before we'll see another good round of showers and storms potentially roll through late Friday into Saturday. Now, mentioned yesterday, we didn't have a severe threat for Thursday. We have a low risk now, and it's right where the main thunderstorm activity is expected across parts of Kansas, stretching down into north central Oklahoma. Now, the good news is at this point it's a low risk, but it is a risk, and therefore we are looking at that potential for maybe some small hail and some gusty winds out there. So something we'll keep an eye on, and then of course we'll have the scattered thunderstorm chances for us on our Friday. Quick look at temperatures sitting at 68 in Joplin. Bear in mind our average low should be about 10 degrees cooler than that. Southeast breeze at around 3 miles an hour. Dew point humidity increasing across the area. Temperatures across the region, we've got upper 60s for most of us, couple of 70s in Neodesha and Parsons. So a well above normal start for us, ahead of a well above normal day out there as well. I forgot to change that. There's no fog. We can just ignore those. I just didn't take them off. But we are expecting the partly cloudy skies. Not a bad start. Upper 60s by 8 and right around 80 degrees by 11 o'clock. And as we head into the afternoon, temperatures about 90. Some of us maybe 88, 89. Some of us maybe 91, 92. Either way you paint it, upwards again of about 10 degrees or so above where we should be out there. We'll have a south breeze 5 to 10. We'll have the mostly clear skies again overnight tonight and very mild. About 12 to 15 degrees above normal, falling back into the low to mid 70s overnight tonight. Then we'll have our thunderstorm chances, showers in the morning, better storm chances in the evening. Storm chances continue. We have that cold front though this weekend. Yeah, look at that. I don't like it either. Upper 90s potentially by Friday. Low 90s on Saturday. Low to mid 80s by Sunday, a little closer to normal. That cold front, though, continues to drop temperatures, and we're hoping to hold this pattern as we head into next week. So, again, first day of fall is Sunday. It's going to be warm, but seasonably so. And then temperatures are looking to fall below normal, almost 10 degrees below normal as we head into the next work week. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, topping a Health Watch this morning. If you need a cup of coffee in the morning to get started, a new study shows that habit might be good for your heart. The research found 1 to 3 cups of Joe a day could keep you from developing cardiometabolic multimorbidity or CM. That's when you have at least 2 heart and metabolism related conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure. The researchers looked at self-reported data from more than 360,000 people in the UK Biobank, a large biomedical database. They found moderate caffeine intake could reduce the onset of CM by 48%. But researchers caution, since the study is observational, other factors may actually be the cause of the improved heart health. Well, it's been deemed a significant public health issue, and the U.S. Surgeon General says parents are overwhelmed and burned out with the dizzying pace of the world. And while he's calling for shifts in policy and cultural norms, mental health experts say there are also ways to navigate all of those feelings. Mandy Gaither has some ideas about how to cope with parental stress.
Being a parent isn't always easy.
Finally, this is a topic that's receiving the attention that it deserves and is long overdue.
Psychologist Adam Borland with Cleveland Clinic says parents today are navigating stressors that they didn't grow up with, including things like social media, 24-hour news cycles, internet safety, school safety, the COVID-19 pandemic. It can all feel a little overwhelming.
I think it comes down to a sense of acceptance. The fact that I am feeling this way, it's not a weakness. It's the reality of the situation that I find myself in.
Borland says parents can cope by prioritizing teamwork. That includes asking and receiving help from a spouse, family member, or the community. And focusing on gratitude can help remind you of the good things in life and your wins as a parent.
It's very easy to negatively compare yourself to others without recognizing, I'm doing a really good job here.
Borland says to also find a healthy balance between things at home and other stressors that exist outside of it. Part of that also includes making time for yourself. He says self-care is not selfish.
It's the idea of carving out that time and recognizing that I'm going to be a better parent, I'm going to be a better partner, I'm going to be a better family member by attending to my self-care.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Now, Borland says it's also important to remember that mental health treatment is always an option. He says seeking help for yourself isn't a weakness. It's a strength to ask for and receive help. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got a mild start to the day out there. Another look at your forecast when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, Crowder College hosts a lesson on history for students to celebrate National Constitution Day.
And it's not a bad start out there, but mild for this time of year ahead of another hot day. Look at that forecast, get you out the doors coming up.
Plus, Joplin area kids are gaining confidence at a drop-in event focused on art.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Wednesday, September the 18th, and here we are halfway through this work week, getting closer to the start of fall, a little over halfway through the month of September, and it doesn't feel very much like fall.
It really doesn't.
It does not.
It really doesn't. Oh, it feels like we're back in the middle of summer.
Yeah, we're in the second summer,
Yeah,
according to that little directory I had. We're in the second summer. We had false fall last week,
Right.
and got our second summer this week. But real fall does arrive on Sunday, and fall goes well.
Oh my goodness.
It should be all right. We should actually experience fall. Let's take a
yes.
look outside. Let's get your Wednesday started off. And we're not dealing with nearly as much fog as we saw yesterday. We're doing a little better out there. Our camera downtown Pittsburgh is looking pretty good so far this morning. And as we take a look at our camera at 7th and Rangeline, there we go. We're looking also pretty good there as well. And MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline looking pretty good as well this morning. Not a bad start to the day. Fog tracker, we have that fog around Grand Lake, but as humidity and dew point levels rise, it's not nearly as dense, but still reduced visibilities down there. So do make sure you're taking it easy, drive slowly, and watch out for some of that patchy, dense fog that may be possible as well. For today, a similar story to yesterday. We're going to have partly cloudy skies up through the late afternoon and early evening hours, and we'll go mostly clear. And we will be relatively toasty today. We're looking at about 10 degrees above normal out there. We're already about 10 degrees above normal now. 68 in Joplin, 67 in Pittsburgh and around the region. The majority of us are in the upper 60s. Got a couple of 70s still in Neodesha and Parsons, but otherwise a mild start for us. Kids getting on the bus, partly cloudy skies of mid 60s, south breeze around 5 to 10, and we'll have a mix of sun and clouds later today. 88 when the bus brings them home. Holding on to that south breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Highs upper 80s and maybe even some low 90s out there, averaging about 90. So again, about 10 degrees, almost 10 full degrees above normal for most of us with those partly cloudy skies. It's going to get even hotter for our Thursday and Friday, but we also have increasing rain chances and that cold front. We'll go over all those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll check in with you soon, Chris. Well, Joplin residents have another chance to get rid of some yard waste. The city will open its free tree limb and brush drop-off site this coming Friday and Saturday from 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now, the drop-off site is located at 1702 North Schifferdecker Avenue. Leaves, grass, clippings, treated wood, construction debris will not be accepted. Now, this service is for Joplin residents only. Artists, young and old, can experiment with different media during Creation Station at the Spiva Center for the Arts. The center offers drop-in Tuesday afternoons where each week the focus varies from painting and drawing to clay and sculpture to printmaking. Well, Stacy Hyde teaches a class and she says she loves showing kids the week's projects and then watching them get excited about what they can create.
I love all mediums of art, and it's usually what inspires me or what project that I'm working on or going to be working on. And then I say, I think the kids will like this if we do it this way. I don't really have a set curriculum. I do things in advance, but I just want to introduce artists, different mediums, and try and keep it all related to their age level.
Creation Station runs from 4 to 5:15 every Tuesday. Pre-registration is recommended as space is limited. Well, Crowder College in Neosho celebrated Constitution Day yesterday with the League of Women Voters of the Greater Joplin area. Constitution Day recognizes the adoption of the U.S. Constitution in 1787. The League of Women spoke about the importance of the 27th Amendment to the Constitution and the power of one vote. They later helped students register to vote.
The speakers today are all women. The League of Women Voters is actually open to men and to women for membership, but it was formed after women gained the right to vote under the Constitution back in the early part of the 20th century.
A climber goes on to say it takes a lot for a young person to fully understand and analyze the Constitution. She hopes the event will help simplify parts of the Constitution as well as make it a civil learning environment. Well, Sept Community College hosted the Cardinal Connect Business Showcase yesterday on campus. Now, the free event allows for area businesses and organizations to showcase their products, services, and any job openings they have for students and staff. The event is also an opportunity for students to learn more about opportunities with companies and organizations in their community.
They can come set up a booth for free to interact with students. They can use it as a job hunt opportunity. They can use it as a way to engage with students to promote their business.
There were more than 30 different businesses and organizations registered to participate in yesterday's showcase. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Firefighters in northern Portugal struggle to contain wildfires that are responsible for at least 6 deaths. Plus, several hundred of Hezbollah militants were wounded when their handheld pagers exploded. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topic World Watch. Russian forces destroy a Ukrainian church that survived the Second World War. The church was built more than 110 years ago and was destroyed by an aerial bombardment on July 8th. Policemen walking through the rubble. The church is located in a village near the front line in eastern Ukraine. In another area of the Donetsk region, a multi-story building is in ruins. Ukraine has repeatedly called on allies to approve the use of long-range weapons to strike targets in Russian territories. The U.S. has allowed Kiev to use American-provided weapons in a specific area in the border with Russia. Meta says it's banning Russian media networks from its various social media platforms. The technology company, which owns Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, says the new ban is because of, quote, foreign interference by Russia. This coming just days after the U.S. sanctioned Russian state media company RT News, alleging that it assists the Kremlin in spreading disinformation and propaganda to millions around the world. Now, Meta has previously taken down hundreds of fake social media accounts spreading Russian indoctrination about the war in Ukraine. But the new ban will be the harshest action the company has taken against Moscow. The ban is set to roll out in the next upcoming days. Well, more than 5,000 firefighters are struggling to contain wildfires in northern Portugal. About 100 fires have been reported in the country, causing at least 6 deaths. Water bombers from Spain are assisting the fight after Portugal requested aid from the European Union. It's not known how many Portuguese residents have had to evacuate because of the ongoing flames, but several highways near the fire have been cut off, leaving some without an easy way out. An alert for the fires is expected to remain in the country until tomorrow. Well, several hundred Hezbollah militants were wounded in different parts of Lebanon when their handheld pagers exploded in an act of suspected Israeli sabotage. Nate Foy has more from Tel Aviv.
A major attack on Hezbollah deep inside Lebanon. It started Tuesday afternoon when pagers belonging to Hezbollah fighters blew up, causing thousands of injuries and several deaths.
A large number of injured are coming to the hospitals. They were primarily injured in the explosion of pagers they were carrying. The numbers that arrived at the emergency rooms are very big.
Hezbollah immediately blamed Israel for the explosions, suggesting Israeli forces hacked into their new pager network or tampered with the devices. The group's senior leaders say they were not hurt, and they're now vowing revenge, claiming Israel will receive, quote, retribution for this sinful aggression. It happened just hours after Israeli defense officials updated their war objectives to include restoring security in northern Israel, a move that could put them on a collision course for a broader conflict with Hezbollah.
The problem should be solved as soon as possible. The residents of the north won't return if there is no sense of security. I don't believe it. Mr. Prime Minister says he wants security, a complete victory, but after a year they are still shooting.
Meanwhile, the Biden administration is calling on both sides to resist an escalation.
Ultimately, this is something that needs to be resolved diplomatically. It's very tough to achieve a diplomatic resolution to the conflict across the blue line as long as there is ongoing conflict in Gaza.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is on his way to Egypt to revive ceasefire talks that have been stalled.
And that's a look at World Watch. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, now 5:45 on this Wednesday morning. We're starting first with a live look from the MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line in Joplin. Looking back to the north, looking pretty good so far out there and not bad from the KDOT camera at 69 and Kansas Crossing this morning. As you can see, not nearly as much fog as what we had to contend with yesterday. And on the future track, we are looking at a relatively similar day to yesterday, but we'll have those partly cloudy skies here and there, and then we'll see the gradual clearing by late afternoon into the early evening hours with mostly clear skies overnight. Then we go into Thursday, and one consistency are these showers. We're going to talk about our 2 chances of rain Thursday. We got that front out to our west. We'll have some thunderstorms along it tonight to our west. By the time they get here early Thursday, we'll have some isolated to widely scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder or two, but as you can see, what's out there will die off pretty quickly. We're going to be hot, and because of this, we're also going to be very muggy. Looking to be breezy tomorrow, south winds gusting upwards of about 20 to 25. Heat index values tomorrow close to 100 degrees, 100 degrees in September. But then by the evening, as that frontal boundary is a little closer, not here yet, but close enough, it'll set off additional thunderstorms. And these thunderstorms will roll through late Thursday evening. Now, the best chances for organized thunderstorms and rainfall at this point still looks to be Kansas and Oklahoma for Thursday evening, but a few lingering showers and storms could carry on Thursday night across Kansas, maybe even be in a weakening or dying state by the time they get to Missouri, but at least some rain will be out there. Friday, it's another pattern that's similar to that, but we'll have isolated to widely scattered showers and storms starting as early as maybe 10, 11 o'clock Friday, and they'll be continuing through the day, but again, they'll be isolated out there before we see a few more bigger thunderstorms, not necessarily severe storms, but at least some other thunderstorms with more rainfall come in late Friday into Saturday. Now, that said, we do have a low-end risk for some stronger storms tomorrow. Again, tomorrow evening, really, across Kansas, Oklahoma, right where that main complex is expected to be. So we're talking the potential for maybe some large hail and some damaging wind gusts out there. And then we'll have the scattered thunderstorms continue into Friday. And this, again, is more for tonight if we do get any of those thunderstorms late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Right now, you can see a few clouds out there. 68 in Joplin, southeast breeze at 3. Dew point humidity both coming up out there as well. The mugginess starting to work back in with those southerly winds. Temperatures upper 60s. We still have a pair of 70s, Neodesha and Parsons. As we get our morning underway, again, not bad, upper 60s. It's warmer than where we should be by about 10 degrees, but it still isn't terrible. However, we're going to be about 80 by 11. Keep in mind, average highs about 81, 82 out there. And our highs today, right about 90. Some of us a little cooler, some of us a little warmer, but either way you paint it, definitely above normal. Well above normal Thursday and Friday, 10, maybe even 15 degrees above average out there. Scattered storms Friday, Saturday. Those are evening storms with the cold front coming through. So we go from 91 down to 60. So a 31-degree drop in temperatures. A few scattered storms on our Sunday. Cooler for the first day of fall. A little more seasonable. And temperatures may be even below normal by next week. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, Jennifer Lopez gears up for a new romantic comedy while Peter Dinklage and Josh Brolin play brothers in their latest flick. Here's Rick Damagella with the Hollywood Minute.
Over your shoulder, JLo, for us. Jennifer Lopez's latest on-screen love. The actress is set to make her rom-com return alongside Ted Lasso star Brett Goldstein in Office Romance. Goldstein will co-write the upcoming feature for streaming platform Netflix.
Let's do this one and split. I have to take a dump.
Peter Dinklage and Josh Brolin team up in the upcoming comedy Brothers. This is your first look at the pair playing criminal siblings alongside Glenn Close and Brendan Fraser. The film arrives in select theaters and on Prime Video in October.
I'd want to watch what you'd say about what's there.
Cillian Murphy faces a moral conundrum in Small Things Like These. The actor plays a coal merchant who witnesses secret abuses by the local covenant that hires him in the new drama. This is a sneak peek at the film, which lands in theaters November 8th. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
Well, it may be the solar system's smallest planet, but it's making big headlines as a newly released video gives an unprecedented up-close look at the sun's closest neighbor, Mercury. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
Take a look at the closest ever flyby of our solar system's least explored rocky planet. This amazing up-close time-lapse tour of Mercury comes courtesy of the European Space Agency's intrepid Bepi Colombo spacecraft, which is only the third craft ever to visit the solar system's smallest planet and the first to get this close. The planetary pass-by is relived through 3 separate camera angles, one of which captured a stunning view of the planet's signature Vivaldi ring crater formation, named for the famous Italian composer whose iconic Four Seasons Concerti was sampled by the ESA as the soundtrack for the vivid video voyage. And from a smooth flyby to a rough landing on a golf course. That's what happened in a Denver area community after a small plane suddenly landed on the 7th tee of a local course and flipped over, coming to rest upside down. Both occupants were able to walk away from the crash, and the NTSB is now trying to figure out what went wrong. As for Lynxman looky-loos, they appeared to play on through and graciously ignored the fact that it was supposed to be cart path only for vehicles that day. Finally, speaking of stuff where it's not supposed to be, in case you missed it, plenty of California beachgoers did not miss out on this surreal sight: a bear taking a casual stroll in the crowded South Tahoe surf. Eyewitnesses said the burly beachgoer seemed unconcerned by the scores of slack-jawed gawkers and even took a cool dip in the water a little further down the beach. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Stick around, we'll be right back. Well, you may think you're a good tipper, but what about everyone else in your state? Well, a new report from Toast, a digital platform that a lot of restaurants use, includes some new findings about tipping. They've analyzed all their recent data, and Delaware is the state with the best tippers. The average tipping percentage is 21.5% there. Now, West Virginia, Indiana, New Hampshire, and Kentucky also made the list of states with the highest restaurant tips. And as for the lowest, that's California. Toast says its average tipping percentage is just over 17%. Well, it's cheeseburger in paradise kind of day today. That's because it's National Cheeseburger Day. According to the National Day calendar, this cheesy, greasy goodness dates back to the 1920s. Many eateries have claimed to have invented the cheeseburger, including a California sandwich shop that said it came up with it, in 1926. But the Humpty Dumpty Drive-In in Denver was the first to trademark the actual name cheeseburger in 1935. Now, to celebrate the day, just stop by your favorite spot, order one, and enjoy.
Have a number of great hamburger establishments here in the area, and a number of those are locally owned. So not only could you enjoy a tasty cheeseburger, but you can also support your local businesses as well. And it's going to be a great day for a cheeseburger. Certainly feels like it. Maybe just grill one up because it's going to feel like summer out there. About 80 degrees, partly cloudy by 11 o'clock this morning. Highs today are going to be to the tune of about 10 degrees above normal, 90 about the average. Some of us maybe 88, 89, others maybe 91. 92, but either way you paint it, just hot out there. Clouds will begin to gradually decrease again as we head into the late afternoon and evening hours. Mostly clear tonight, falling back into the low to mid 70s, so about 15 degrees above normal for our lows tonight. Tomorrow even hotter. Mid-90s again Friday. Heat index values tomorrow close to 100 degrees. We'll have some morning showers in Kansas from a dying thunderstorm complex, but then better thunderstorm chances mainly into Kansas and Oklahoma. A couple of strong storms also possible. And then we'll see more thunderstorm chances Friday and Saturday. We have a cold front Saturday night, brings better storms chances Saturday night into Sunday. And on the first day of fall, temperatures a little closer to seasonable, low to mid 80s out there. We could even fall below normal next week. We got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.